Hey, truth seekers, welcome back. Zach here. Yesterday, April 7th, 2017, the news headlines out of Stockholm, Sweden, were a terrorist took a truck and rammed it into a crowd of people, killing 4. Ever since the Bastille Day attack in France, Nice, France, July 14th, 2016, we've seen a number of these headlines across the world. A terrorist taking a vehicle and attacking a group of people. We've seen it in Europe, we've seen it in Israel, we've seen it in the United States. This has become a commonplace headline. All of these attacks are orchestrated by government, local police, and media as part of an ongoing conspiracy of duping the people of this world into thinking there's an Islamic boogeyman that needs to be dealt with military intervention. If you're new to my channel, I've been exposing this. Each time one of these news stories presents itself, I've covered every last one of them, going back to the Bastille Day attack. You can find them all on this channel, playlists and everything. What I'm going to show you in this video is how yesterday's attack in Stockholm, Sweden, is the same ritual and numbers that we just saw in London on March 22nd, where reportedly a terrorist took his car, rammed people, and then stabbed a police officer to death, shutting down Parliament. I was waiting to make this video because I wanted them to put out information on the supposed attacker. Now today they're saying he's a 39-year-old Uzbek man. Check this out. Let's go down to where they report his age. Prosecutor Hans Ehrman said the arrested man was a 39-year-old from Uzbekistan. Now if you followed my work on London, I showed how the whole thing was about 39. Real quick, I want you to know that yesterday's attack in Stockholm, Sweden was supposedly on Queen Street. Before we come back to this, let's just go to March 22nd, 2017 in London, in case you didn't see that work. I showed how the attack in London had everything to do with the Brexit vote. It was all part of the planned ritual. If you missed my work on Brexit, that wasn't a legitimate vote. It's all part of the planned, orchestrated New World Order agenda we're living out. Scaring us about false terrorism, saying we need war, mixing up the way government's structured. This is all part of an ongoing agenda shaping the minds of the masses of this world. Anyhow, the Brexit vote was June 23rd, 2016. From that date to the false flag in London was a span of 39 weeks. As I always explain, the people responsible for this New World Order agenda, at the top, they are Freemasons and Zionists, and Freemason history is in the 39 books of the Old Testament. Check this out. 39 weeks later, from Brexit, in the language of gematria, Brexit equals 39. So does David Cameron. So does May, as in Theresa May, who replaced David Cameron because of Brexit. Big Ben, which keeps time, has gematria of 39. David Cameron, Theresa May, and the mayor of London, whose name in gematria sums to 39, they're all Libras, born in October. Also, the Prime Minister always resides at 10 Downing Street. 10 has the relationship with 39. In the Old Testament, 39 books, there's the 10 Commandments. On the Kabbalah, there's the 10 Sephirah. Sephirah in gematria is 39. This is a very special number. It's a spiritual number. It's very much related to the people who are controlling the show. The Freemasons, the Zionists at the top. You know, this goes back centuries. This goes back to the time of World War I. And to prove that point, there was a film that came out in the UK called The 39 Steps in 1978. 39 years before 2017. This film is about the Great War. Great War equals 39, and World War II began in 39. Remember, World War I, the reason the United States joined the war was with the promise of creating the Zionist State of Israel. World War I, World War II, all part of the agenda for Israel, and guess what World War III will be? Same thing. Israel needs to take care of any perceived threats it might have in the region. They want to expand their boundaries. Just watch. If we don't stop the New World Order agenda in place, Israel will end up being the whole Middle East in time. So this is why 39. It all has to do with war. I was explaining this on March 22nd. Now with Trump attacking Syria, getting Russia provoked, the picture is becoming more clear. This Stockholm, Sweden attack takes place at the same time. So look, yesterday's attack by the 39-year-old Uzbek man on Queen Street. The other point to make about this London attack is the day it happened, it shut down Parliament, and the date was March 22nd, 2017, a date with 62 numerology. In the language of gematria, I'll just put this up here so you can see, the word queen sums to 62, just like Parliament has gematria of 62, just like Mason has gematria of 62, just like Torah, major overlap between Freemasonry and Judaism. Again, 39 books in the Old Testament, the first 5 books of the Torah. But look at this. They say a 39-year-old Uzbek man responsible. Uzbek man in gematria sums to 93, the reflection of 39, just like propaganda. They say the first casualty of war is the truth, and, that's what goes on in this world. The powers that shouldn't be, they're warmongers to start their wars, that create their interest and allow them to remain in power, that keep nations indebted to them. They rule with lies. In war, there's always lies. We've been told that since World War II. The book came out then. The first casualty of war is the truth. But Uzbek Man, 93, like propaganda, the reflection of 39. 93 also the number for Saturn, keeper of time, having to do with death and judgment. If you go back to the Bastille Day attack in France, they said the man was from Tunisia. Remember that? From Tunisia. Also in 93. They love to use these same numbers again and again. They're repetitive in their rituals, the way they code them. So I'll link all this information below so you can read about it. Please go back and check out my videos. My work on Bastille Day, it's the most mind-blowing. If you saw the recent terror truck in the United States at Mardi Gras, that was all synced up with what happened on Bastille Day. Mardi Gras, Louisiana, French territory, the French Purchase. It's all rituals across the world by the numbers. Last night, before they named the man, they put out this image. They said, police are looking for this person. I mean, just look at how unclear that is. Grainy, pixelated, hood over the face. It could be anybody. And they do this on purpose. Because the people who trust the media, the people who think there's an Islamic boogeyman, they're going to see this media, and then when they go outside and they see a Muslim man, they might think, oh my God, that could be him. That's what the powers that shouldn't be want with their bogus news, to confuse people, to scare them needlessly, to make them blame the wrong people. It's not Islam that's responsible for terrorism in the world. It's the Zionist Freemasons at the top, who've been running the show for centuries. Remember last year after the false flag in Belgium, they put out that super pixelated image and said, this is the person. It was impossible to make out who it was, but you could see that they had a huge nose. It looked just like Shock G, who taught the world the Humpty Hump dance. Got videos on that from last year. Also, with regards to it being a truck attack, almost every time they do a truck attack, they do it in a place or on a date where the word truck corresponds in gematria. Stockholm has the same gematria as truck, 35. 35 can be used to represent the triple fives. In Washington, D.C., we have the 555-foot tall Washington Monument, 555. That's 5/8 of an inch also. We know why 5/8. Freemasonry, 58, Secret Society, Rosicrucian, Rose Cross, Annuit Coeptus. Anyway, with regards to the 35 coding in Stockholm and trucks, CNN, when this story first broke yesterday, had this. Truck plows into crowd on busy street in Sweden. 555. The Pentagon, the War Department in Washington, D.C., might as well be the War Department for the world, since it spends more money on military than the rest of the world combined. Remember, that building, 5 floors above ground, 5-acre court in the middle, 5-sided, across from the 555-foot tall Washington Monument. The word new, N breaks down to 5, E5, W5, NEW 555, New World Order, New World Order rituals. That's what it is. If you're asking how does N, E, and W break down to 5, N's the 14th letter, 1 plus 4 is 5, E's the 5th, W's the 23rd, 2 plus 3 is 5. New, 555, some of my oldest teachings, going back to 2013. So Darrell O'Brien, who found my work in 2014, he has his own video channel, always making brilliant finds. He also caught that from the November 13th, Friday the 13th, false flag blamed on ISIS, to Trump attacking Syria, 511 days. Remember, Trump's campaign for president was 511 days. 511, another number for Saturn, the keeper of time, judgment. This is a New World Order agenda. All these nations are participating in duping the world about the Islamic boogeyman that doesn't exist. And last point, with regards to this attack coming on 4/7 or 7/4 in Stockholm, remember, the word Masonic is 74. The word Jewish is 74. The word killing is 74. 4 dead, when you write it out, is 74, like what they're reporting from April 7th in Stockholm. In the U.S., we write the date 4/7. The Freemasons have the 47th problem of Euclid about how to establish foundation. It's Freemasonry that's the authority, and the authority in this world works by the numbers. The Freemason compass, remember in London, the day of the attack, March 22nd, they had this big red helicopter on display. London Freemasons on the side. Also the compass and square. The compass set at 47 degrees. Each leg is kicked out at 23.5 degrees. If you look up the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn, they're at 23.5 degrees north, 23.5 degrees south, 47 degrees apart. 47, the number that represents the word time in gematria. All of these rituals, by the numbers, perfectly placed on dates that correspond with this ongoing code. And again, we talked about 93 as well, Saturn, the keeper of time. You know, they tell us the sun is 93 million miles away. The tropics that measure the solstices, which have to do with the sun, are 47 degrees apart. These same numbers used again and again ritualistically worldwide by Freemasonry. It is undeniable who's responsible. They're really putting it in front of our face. And just look at what's on the back of this helicopter as well. G, London. I almost forgot to tell you what the gematria of London is, Truth Seeker. London 74. You know, it was a stabbing that day, the stabbing of a police officer. They code these same numbers, you know, over and over. And here what we're talking about is English and gematria, based on the alphabetic order. You know? Check out the gematria of English language. The English language is not the first numerical language. It's built with the same concept of languages that are thousands of years old. Hebrew, Greek. You see all this 74? None of this is arbitrary. They say that gematria is credited to Pythagoras of Samos. You know, that's approaching 3,000 years ago. This language has been around, you know. So that's why they're saying Uzbek Man responsible for the truck attack on Queen Street, you know. See if there's any more notes in here I should give you that I might have forgot. I feel like there was something else that I should have showed you. Oh yeah, here we go. With regards to this being on Queen Street, didn't I put the word Queen in here? There we go. With regards to this truck being on Queen Street and it being a recent tribute to what happened in London that shut down Parliament on the date with 62 numerology, truck 62, Parliament 62, Queen 62, a truck on Queen Street. They said it shut down the train station nearby. You see, all these false flags majorly inconvenience people, and the powers that shouldn't be want to do that, because when people are inconvenienced, they remember. And this is about trying to persuade the people into thinking something needs to be done to squash this Islamic boogeyman. You know, you have people here in the United States saying we need to carpet bomb the region, just kill everybody over there, start over. I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon, but that's the path we're on. That's the progression we're on. This is the message from our world leaders. All right, Truth Seeker, that's enough for now. Until next time. The Prime Minister of Sweden, his name in Gematria matches the word Freemasonry. No surprises there. To be a world leader, you have to be in Freemasonry. Also, the name of the streets where this happened, the one street name even has 74 encoded in it. Masonic 74, Jewish 74, occult 74, killing 74. Just talking about this number. The official name for Queen Street also has gematria of 79, like murder, like the synagogue of Satan. So just a couple last notes I want to get in there. Again, this always comes back to Freemasonry. They believe in order out of chaos, divide and conquer, and that's what they achieve with all of their propaganda. Until next time.